She has high blood pressure.
Because she eats bad.
She
If you
has-
show me anyone who has any disease, and I can tell you everything they eat, I can go to the store and I can pick every single thing and put it together and show you what they're eating.
So let me ask you this: would there be a remedy from you for that, or would the remedy simply be to change your diet?
Well, I mean, if they want to come to me, I can always help them. I have remedies for that, but at the same time, I also, it's to fix the problem at the root cause. It's very, very important. Instead of just putting a bandage on it, it's very important that we go to the root cause and fix the problem.
Right.
If the problem was caused by what he ingested, what he ate, and then maybe we should stop doing that, drinking right water, eating the right food, so we have none of these kinds of problems.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you actually have medicine that people can buy that would help alleviate the symptoms. Is that correct?
They're not medicine, they're just natural supplements. They just stuff, it's like eating a lot of broccoli, spinach, it's not medicine. We do not make medicine, we make natural supplements.
Medicine would be
Yes.
pharmaceutical.
Yeah,
pharmaceuticals.
yeah. So we make natural supplements that people can take to be able to help them clean up their body. And we must understand every disease originates from the gut.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. It's from what I understand, the mucus, right?
Yes, there's just one cause of disease, it's inflammation, which is mucus. When you remove the mucus, the inflammation out of the body, then there's no disease actually.
So any disease can be cured then.
Well, we don't use the word cured. We said every disease we can, it can be, there's a solution for every single disease. Because if we say there's no treatment for a certain kind of disease, then it simply means that there's not a creator. If God will literally put us on the planet that will make mistakes, then He's gonna also look for solutions to be able to help us to fix those problems.
Sure.
Now I did see some testimonials. Shout out to Richard. Richard sent me some. You have even dealt with people that have STDs, correct?
Yes, I mean STDs. It's just accumulation of a lot of mucus in the body. Every single disease accumulation, whether it's breast cancer, it's high blood pressure, it's diabetes, all these things come up to one thing. It's too much mucus in the body. When you alleviate the mucus, if you see people have high blood pressure, what they always do when they wake up in the morning, they spit mucus. If you talk to an HIV patient, they spit mucus. Every one of these people, when everyone spit, is mucus.
Mm-hmm.
So if you minimize the mucus in the body, then they begin to heal themselves. And that's why I always like to go back to common sense medicine, is that we must always look at nature. I'm not a rocket science or whatever, but I'm always, one thing my grandfather always told me is like, always look at nature. Always look at nature. Nature is the best teacher. And he always said the term nature, it comes from the word nurture, that for one to nurture themselves, they got to go to nature. And that nature is the only teacher that teaches us.
That's awesome. Yeah. I have like a billion questions.
Go ahead.
Like you want to go, Dre?
No, go ahead first.
Well, one thing on my mind was like, with you being this natural remedy kind of guy. Now, in your opinion, your intelligent opinion, do you think there are people that like conspire to keep people sick, if you kind of see what I'm getting at? You know what I'm saying? With diseases and whatnot?
Well, that's why I always tell people everyone must take ownership to self. And one thing my grandfather always tell me, like, everyone want to become a doctor, a pilot, engineer, businessman. The one thing you spend your whole life with is you.
Yeah.
And so when people like me, we come and we tell people like, hey man, know thyself, knowing oneself. It simply means, if you're having a headache, how come you're going to someone? How come you don't know how to fix that? When animals are sick, they don't go to the pharmacy, they go to nature for healing. So it's very important that everyone is taking responsibility. That's where it goes to people knowing themselves. Is that a lot of us out there, people are not trying to be responsible for themselves anymore. They're neglecting self.
Right. Yeah.
And so they think someone is going to help them. And these same people that we're looking up to help us, is that they're human beings just like you. They also have flaws. Sometimes they don't know better.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's why, the ancient always say, man, know thyself, that educate yourself so you know so much better. If you're born with this body, how come you don't know about this body? And this is the most scariest thing, is that everyone is running around. I'm an engineer, I'm a pilot, I'm this. When one thing is wrong with their bodies, they have no clue.
Well,
They have no clue
Yeah.
what has happened to the human race, that we're so disconnected to our own body, What has happened to us? So we must begin to ask this question: what is going on? Because this is the most frightening thing to see. Is that people are having their legs amputated, people are having their eyes removed, people are having all these things because we're running after everything but self.
I got you on that, but it's like there's certain things you will, like, say a doctor, maybe his interest was to, you know, go to med school and all of that. So is it so that, you know, that people just want to rush to go to somebody else, or is that somebody that has studied?
Well, we must
the
understand
science
that,
and
you know,
that,
there's a system of hierarchy that's been put in place. That, hey, we look up to this person, we look up to this person, we look up to this person. But when we go back to the ancient always said, man knows self.
Yeah.
That to make anything happen is self.
Yeah.
You know, there's no one coming to save us. You know, even though a lot of people, they look up to maybe a Messiah or whatever, no one is coming to save anyone.
Yeah.
Not even your doctor, not even your mom is coming to save you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, is that everyone must carry their own cross. And so when you start looking at medicine from this standpoint, like if you have a baby squirrel or baby raccoon or baby snake, when he's sick, it's not running to his mother, like, hey, mom, I'm sick. Right within its DNA is the code of knowing how to heal self.
Yeah.
So when they're sick, they go to nature. A dog that is normally not a dog eater, you will never see a baby dog that is sick and even goes to his mother like, hey, mom.
Yeah.
This is, I'm trying to have people to have a different way of thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
Even a baby dog is not going to his mom, I'm sick.
Yeah.
It goes straight to nature and eat grass, even though it's not a grass eater. So this is the kind of intelligence I'm having people to be like, hey, let's awaken this kind of knowing back. Because it's all within us. If an animal can do it, so can we.
That's food for thought.
Yeah. So for me, I'm all about trying to empower people so they can take responsibility of their own health.
Yeah.
Because the more you depend on someone, they might not do it the way you want it.
Yeah.
They're also human also. It's not looking at who to blame. Oh, the doctors are this or this. My whole family are doctors. They're medical doctors.
Oh,
so
really?
it's not whom to blame.
Interesting.
It's not whom to blame. It's how can I take responsibility
Yeah.
for my own health.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
One more question. Would you say you're anti-medicine?
I'm not anti-medicine. There are things, so whenever maybe if you got into a car accident, you know, you need surgery, you know, you have a broken bone. There's some certain things,
yeah.
there's some certain parts that medicine, you know, like play its part or whatever. But there are also some other things that, you know, natural, you know, medicine plays, you know, it's
Yeah,
it's a game of choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering because you know you.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not.
Natural
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been looking at this item you have in front of you right here. Can you explain what that is?
I don't think the world is ready for that. I'm an alchemist. I create a lot of.
Oh no! Do explain, please.
No, I don't think most people they're ready for this. Most people they're so much into like religion and all those things. So I'm not. So I don't think.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm an inventor also. I create things. I've developed over 2,000 and something formulas. I have 10 books I've written.
For the people, could you explain what an alchemist is? 'Cause if I had to guess, like, is it somebody? It's something like a. I don't even want to say. I'd
Someone
rather
who
you
can.
explain it.
Well, there's a
Inventor.
term.
Like I have an idea.
An
but
alchemist
I
is
wanna
one who
articulate
can
it well.
change, you know, the matter of things. That can change things. Like you could change water into a stone.
Exactly.
You know, you could
Some people
change
would say it's
water
like
into
wizardry
wine.
or something.
Yes. Oh, well.
I know I wasn't tripping.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
sure.
okay. When we talk about wizardry, it just simply means using the force of nature to your advantage. You know, a lot of things have been given connotation like witchcraft, magic, this, and people fear all those things.
Right.
It's just it's just looking at it from different standpoint. There's nothing to fear about those things. Even the act of prayer, it's ritual. You know, to put one's hand together and to pray. You know, when you start looking at things and looking at the definition or the etymology of things, you start beginning to see that there's nothing to fear.
The key word you said that was etymology. That's
Yeah.
you know studying the words.
It's the basic, yeah.
And
Going
you
at the
get a
root.
real understanding of stuff when you know the root of them words,
Yes.
where it came from, and the meanings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's get a little deeper. So one of the things I do on my show is I get a lot of questions from fans and people that are watching. And last month we hit over 12,000 listeners. So
Interesting.
we have a captive audience, and so one of the things that I like to do is kind of get questions from them and give them to the guest.
Beautiful.
So, first question is from Morgan, and Morgan wants to know, like, for example, if someone has like herpes or something like that, which is not curable, is there something that you can do?
I think I would like to talk about this after, not on camera. It's very important. Yeah, there's just some very sensitive subjects like the term, herpes, that we talk about it after. They can always call me and we can talk about it. It's just because of a lot of legalities involved.
Okay.
Give them the
Yeah.
website though.
Yes.
So where would they go?
Well, they can go to our website, www.grandpasecret.com, and they can contact us also at 832-429-5136. Yeah.
So hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
Not to use a specific name, but for anything that you have going on, you already said that it's related to mucus.
Yeah.
And if you get the mucus out of your body, then you get that out of your body basically.
Yes.
So I definitely think that he could help you, Morgan, because
Of
you
course.
follow the tea leaves of the conversation.
Yes. Yeah. I hope she gets it. She can read through the lines. Yeah. But yeah.
Let's go to another one. Okay, this one is from Malcolm. Malcolm says, "What about stuff with my skin? I have really bad breakouts. Can you help with that?"
Of course, most people have really bad breakout is because they have a dirty colon. It's very important everyone understand that. Their colon, their stomach is very dirty. If they clean up their colon, then they can alleviate everything that is inside, try to spit out what almost like eczema, you have psoriasis, all those things is because the inside is very, very dirty. And normally people have this problem is because they eat very bad. Yeah, there's I had a conference where I was speaking to a group of doctors, and the question I always ask people is this: the food for birds, the food for squirrel, the food for monkeys, the food for elephants. What is the food for humans? 99.99% of human beings, even the most smartest intellectuals, they're running around. They don't know what the food for humans are. And if we do not know what the food for humans are, how can we be well? We're just eating whatever, and we're wondering why we're sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we have
It's
to know
crazy,
every
man.
animal is eating according to its specification, looking at the dynamics of their teeth, their intestines, the claws they have. They're eating according to all these dynamics. So what is the food that human beings are designed to eat? Until we know this, then we'll never be well.
So are you? I would assume you're vegan. Is that the case?
Well, I don't like to, give names to things. I always say I'm plant-based. I'm eating according to the specification of, the human dynamics. Yeah, plant-based.
So Dre, recently on social media, I saw you kind of did a little juice cleanse thing.
Correct.
How did that work out for you? How did you feel about that?
Man, I made it through about 2.5 days.
Well, I know you was shitting like a crippled
I just
goose.
broke down the third day, man. I had to go to True Food Kitchen and get something in me.
Mm.
But man, I didn't really feel too different, man. Honestly, I didn't feel like I just absolutely needed food. I felt like I could have went a long time with just
The juice?
nutrients, and water.
See, I'm fat, so I don't think I've never tried one, but I don't think I would be able to go long.
Man, you probably see some results quickly, man, honestly. So, something to think about. I mean, I would do it again. I think 2 days, what I did as a start, I would definitely do it.
Lisa, absolutely not. That's a bad idea. She talking about y'all should have a show challenge to see who can do it the most days.
Sounds like
No. Look, we're all three of us are like, no. You're welcome to try it though. Let us know how many days you make it. But congrats on that. So, do you believe in like juicing and stuff like that as well?
It's a daily routine. We do a lot of juicing, we do a lot of fasting, we do a lot of raw eating. My grandfather always taught me that everything that's dead has to be buried. He said, how do you use your belly as a graveyard and put dead animals? And he said, the next time your grandmother dies, anyone dies, why don't you cut your flesh and eat it? And everyone will be like, ew,
Right.
because it's dead. And we do the same thing to chickens, to fish,
I just had chicken, man.
and we do the same thing to all these carcass, and we expect to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make me feel real guilty right now about myself.
The truth
Yeah.
right there, man.
And for, you know, if you see why we even eat all these things, we eat it for the seasoning. No one eats raw meat because by design we're not designed to eat meat. No one eats raw meat. If someone says, oh, I'm a cannibal, give them raw meat, they don't want it, they eat it for the seasoning. All of this is just a collective programming. We've been so programmed on how to eat, how to taste. Our taste buds have been genetically engineered. That's why we crave the things we crave. Even like the brother was saying, if you ever do a juice fast or whatever, your level of sensitivity awakens, your taste buds, the way you look at the world, you see everything from a positive standpoint. You know, studies have been shown where they've given people who are so depressed, put them on juice fast, and alleviated their depression, who were almost at the urge of suicide. We personally, we've actually done it with a lot of our clients, you know, help them, you know, go on juice fast, you know, fasting, eating the right food, and they've been able to get off, you know, depression and other ailments.
Okay, and this brings me to our next question from Clifford,
Yeah.
who actually asked something similar to where you were going.
Yeah.
Clifford says that I've battled some health issues for the last 5 years, and I've tried to change my diet. Is there anything you will recommend to helping to change my taste buds?
Well, one thing I always tell people is that sometimes is, you know, it's hard to do it sometimes by self. So that's why sometimes I always advise people to always find teams. You know, as a human species, we originated from tribes. This whole individuality concept, everyone in America, especially our own people with melanin, we're dying of loneliness. We're longing to connect. That's why if you go to church, you're gonna see everyone is going. You go to clubs, you're gonna see all of our people, because why? We're seeking attention, but we're seeking attention in all the wrong places. We're not coming together as a collective, like, hey, let's do something positive. Let's take health challenges. Let's get rid of our medications. Let's help ourselves in this aspect or whatever. So everything we do is destructive by nature. Yeah. So what I'll tell Clifford is that, you know, he can find some other friends or whatever, and they can do some certain challenges so they're able to hold one another accountable, because sometimes if you want to do it by yourself, it's very, very hard. It's very, very difficult. That's why my wife and I will go throughout the United States, like doing vegan potlucks, like bringing people together or whatever, and helping them to be able to eat better, and so they can also have a support group.
Yeah, and also maybe you might want to go to a hypnotist. Someone actually recently told me that worked, so you want to check that out. Dre, you don't seem like you.
I'm gonna stay away from a hypnotist, man. Have you ever seen Office Space?
I haven't, but I'm gonna watch it. I guess it went wrong.
Yeah, check it out, man. It's a funny movie.
You must have seen it, though.
What happened?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh.
He just knows a hypnotist.
Yeah, I just know, yeah.
Could probably screw with you, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll pass on that myself.
Watch the movie
Try to
tonight.
be this.
I'm watching.
Hey, I wanted to ask you though, 'cause you were talking about food.